Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this HJ Goes Live with the very lovely Sally Bricks, who is British Hairdresser of the Year for the third time. Good morning, Sally.
Good morning. You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Well, we decided to come back for part two because I had a million questions and we had loads of people still asking questions. So keep the questions coming in because you are game for answering anything, which is brilliant.
My mum said last time, she's like, do you know you didn't give Jane time to breathe? I was like, this time I need to allow you to breathe, apparently. Mum's like, you just went...
No, it was absolutely brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So
my face hasn't woken up.
Pardon?
I look like my face hasn't woken up this morning. You know, some mornings you get up and you go, oh, my face hasn't woken up. I feel like that.
Well, you don't look it. You don't. The rest of them definitely are. And to be fair, we've done a lot of lives for various things, and it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have a slight technical hitch every time we do it.
Well, the last one was a massive technical hitch, wasn't it?
Well, that was just a big hitch. It wasn't just a technical.
The last, for anybody that doesn't know, the last one was like, we were due to go live at 10 o'clock, and at 9:30, my boyfriend was having a complete acute appendicitis. So I literally 2 minutes before had to put him in a taxi to go to the hospital, and then literally come here and go, hi, do you know what I mean? And then he had his appendix removed an hour after I put him in the hospital. So it was a little bit stressful in the morning.
But the thing was, I did say to you, let's just not do this. And you were like, no, it'll be fine.
I'll just get him in the taxi. Give me 5 minutes.
I had this vision of this poor guy being shoved in a taxi, door shut. You gave him phone and some money.
Like, there's no point me driving you because you might as well, because I can't come, so you might as well get a taxi. So I was a bit like, and then an hour later he's like, right, I'm having an emergency appendix removal, and I was like, oh, okay, see you later, have fun.
Light guilt. Light guilt. So all change again since we last spoke.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, so announcement and all things being equal, we will all be open on the 12th of April, which is fantastic. I think for some people, it's probably longer than they would have wanted. I think for clients, it's definitely longer than we would have wanted, and for some hairdressers, it may be longer. But actually, what do you think about this?
I think, yes, it's longer than we maybe would have wanted, but I'm actually glad they've given us some warning this time. I think last time, you know, in times it's been so short notice that it's been a bit of a panic, and we've been off for so long now that I feel like people need to mentally prepare themselves to actually go back to work a little bit more maybe than before. And I also think a lot of people maybe are thinking, God, I've got 7 weeks to fit back in my clothes, whether you're thinner or fatter. Yeah. I mean, I look at my wardrobe and I'm like, what the hell do I usually wear for work? Do you mean it's just, I think so it is still 6-7 weeks away, but I do think it's been such a long lockdown, and it's been a hard lockdown for a lot of people, that I think actually mentally preparing ourselves has given us time to do that.
Yeah, and you know, we've said before, but hairdressing is not for the faint-hearted. You're stood up all day. It's a very physical job, and you know, you're listening to everybody else's trials and tribulations.
Yeah, and it takes a bit of getting back used to, because it's, you know, sometimes even when you have a 3-week holiday, and I'm laughing because it's not funny, so I hope the clients aren't listening, is you do go back and you pick your scissors up and you go, it's just slightly cack-handed.
Right. So for any Bricks and Books clients booking with you, you've not been on holiday. I can't ever imagine you being cack-handed with a pair of hairdressing scissors. I've got to be honest.
It's just, I think it's the speed. Like when you're used to working back to back with clients and you're really busy, you just get onto a momentum, you know. And when you go back after a time off, you're just slower. It's not that you're worse. You're just slower, and you just have to prepare yourself like that. I mean, we put a group WhatsApp out the other day, and we said, right, how does everybody want their appointments? Because we've been through this before. We've done it before. We know what we're coming back to. We know how to handle what we're coming back to. But every single member of my team works differently. Yep. So we're allowing everybody to work differently. Some people want an extra 15 minutes on appointments. Some people want an extra half an hour on colours. Some cutters just want to go back into 45 minutes. Some want an hour instead of 45 minutes. Some want an hour and a half. And you want different breaks in different places. So, you know, our poor receptionist, because we just put it on the group WhatsApp, and now he's got to juggle everybody's shifts to work around what everybody wants. So for the first 4 weeks, we will all be working differently. Yes. Because that's how it works. I mean, me, perfectly honest, I'm like, just put me back on my normal shift, like normal long shift, but put me back on my 45-minute haircuts, because I need to get back into it running. Yeah, you need I just need to hit the ground running. But that's how I am. Do you know what I mean? I need to be right. This is what I'm preparing myself to go into. This is how I'm going to work. Do you know what I mean? Whereas some other people need space in different places. So that's how we've done it. You know, what do the staff want? What do the team want? And for the first 4 weeks, we all work on different ways that we all work independently. We all work differently.
Yeah. And also that's a really good way of doing it, because it relieves the stress on the individuals coming back. There's a lot of love coming in, and I like this. The first thing that's popped up was Maria Evangelou says, it's not a question, but I bloody love Sally. And lots of love and highs from Kay McIntyre and Beatrice Stolzenberg. So hello ladies, thank you for joining us this morning. It is very different for everybody going back, isn't it? And you know, and I do think there will be some
everyone's different.
Yeah,
everyone's and everyone's handled lockdown differently. I mean, I'm sure a lot of salon owners will probably feel the same as we do, that we've had half of our staff fully engaged, and we've had half of our staff completely disengaged. Yeah. And we don't really know what they've been doing. I know what this group has been doing, because, you know, we've been incredibly creative and we've been working really dynamic on new things. But some of my other team, I haven't really spoke too much, and I don't know. And I'm like, so they've got 7 weeks to prepare themselves, to get mentally prepared to what we come back with. Because we all know, well, we're walking back into 4 weeks of really tough work. Yeah. And also it's like, I mean, I laugh, I go, how did I fit work in? And I'm sure a lot of people are going to think, how do I actually fit work into what I've become? Yes. And it's trying to balance that. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want a little bit more balance. But then I think half of them are going to be, I mean, I know, for example, Marlon and Grace and Sam and, you know, Rowan and Darcy are just gagging to get back to work. They feel like they've missed quite a lot of their year, which they have. So they're just full on running and can't wait to come back. You know, but I think other people may have found something else or found a different way of living. And I think that's going to be the challenge. I don't think it will affect the first 4 weeks, 3 months of people going back to work. I think people just put their heads down and get on with it. It's what happens after that. Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure it's not going to create, it definitely will with us. It will create some changes of what shifts we were working before pre-COVID and what shifts we work now, and what days off we have with the team and what days off we don't have with the team. I think that will be a permanent change for us. Yeah. And also there, I mean, surely there's a very physical aspect to hairdressing. Yeah. But you'll need to start doing push-ups. Well, because if you think, otherwise we're all going to be like spaghetti arms. There is, you know, hairdressers are very strong because they have to be, because of the kind of work they're doing. I know a friend of mine, and I won't name her because she'll kill me, but she's been doing like lifting cans of baked beans every day and using that in the way that she would blow dry to try and build that strength. I think the biggest thing I've found after both lockdowns is not my arms hurting, my legs and my shins. For standing, it's like we're not used to standing all day like we were before. And I know the first few days we were all walking around. I mean, there was a line of trainers in the staff room. Do you know what I mean? So I always wear trainers to work, like, you know, chunky trainers, because, you know, I'm at that age where I go, Christ, I look at a pair of heels and they just give me actually heart palpitations. They give me a headache before I've even put them on my feet. I've got this incredible pair of Alexander McQueen heels, right? And I absolutely love them. I've worn them once. And I look at them and they're in a box and I go, you are so beautiful. But I get a headache even looking at them in the box. So for the business awards, I know it was virtual, but I put heels on and I actually felt like I'd got vertigo. Now, I always wear heels, but even I haven't been wearing heels around the house because it seems a little. Yeah. So the difference in your leg muscles from standing and sitting is a big thing as well. And also, the clients are going to want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and I can't wait for that. I mean, I you know, it's something I really, really miss, but it is mentally exhausting. It is mentally exhausting. So we're going back to I can't think what shift we're going back to this time. I should know that, but I think we're going back to what we did before. But it's 3 long days, 2 days off, 3 long days, 2 days off. So you go in with a mental set of, you've got 3 really hard days. But then you've got the 2 days clear, and then we split our shifts, our team around it. So back to your point about motivating. So good morning from Ultimate Hair and Beauty in Dublin City. How would you recommend motivating staff while they're at home to now try and get them ready to come back? I think now it's like we have a Zoom meeting straight away on Monday, which we haven't done through lockdown with the team. We've kind of let everybody just Whereas now it's more about we have to start engaging with our team. So we have a Zoom meeting on Monday night, just to explain the shifts and what we're going back to, and does anybody need anything, and all of that sort of thing. Yeah. And then what we do is we do 2 weeks before, we do splitting everybody up. Can everybody come up and in and either get their hair done? Yeah. So that the team again meet back up, but also they get their hair done. So 2 things: one, they look nice when they go back into the salon, and the other thing is that they actually practice doing hair, which is really good. And then we expect all our team on different shifts in them last 2 weeks. We will expect them to come in and set the salon up and mentally prepare and engage and get themselves ready and chat to us in the office about any issues they have. It's that. And that is, I think, really important with your team, is that you do now in this last 6 weeks is you reconnect and you re-engage and you re-communicate. It's interesting because Sam Oxborough has said she's not looking forward to going back to the long hours with the mask and visor. I mean, hopefully that's not going to be forever. No, I have no idea, but I have a feeling it'll be for the rest of this year. At least there's some better visors out now, and there's some better things. The one we've been using with the education is fantastic. It's glasses with a full visor, and you actually don't notice it's on you. It's more comfortable. It's much more comfortable. It just depends, you know. To me, it's the mask and visor. Yeah, that is hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. And God, I would dread doing that through summer. Can you imagine? You'd just be like sweating. You'd just be like, you'd be steamed up. Yeah. It's not easy, but at least we've done it all. We've all done it before. We can do this. Yeah, we've done it before. You know, it's not as though, I think the first time I went back and I had to wear a visor, I couldn't see anything. I honestly couldn't cut hair. I was trying to do it upside down. Whereas now I can put it on and I don't actually notice it as much. You've got used to it. You're used to it, and you know, once we go back, it's just part of what we've got to do. And it won't be forever, we hope. But I do think it'll probably be for the end of the year. But again, we know that. We know we've got to go back wearing it. Yeah. Absolutely. We just need to prepare ourselves for it. Guy Kramer is sending lots of love. So good morning. Hi, Guy. Lovely. And we'll come on to this, but Sylvie Brooks, I don't know if she's relative, but I don't think so. She says lots of love from the Dorata team in Marlow, loving the Brooks education mentorship. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Just quickly on this point, how are you kind of connecting with customers and clients now? Have you started that? I mean, I think every salon is going to do this a little bit differently. We were having a big, because you know, once the announcement's made, I mean, obviously we watched it and then we get straight onto it. And we have an incredible reception team. I think, you know, we have Roy and Effie and Katie. They're absolutely incredible. But most of the pressure on this is on Roy. It's on your reception team. Yeah. It's, you know, I can go in and answer the phone and make appointments, but honestly, you really don't want me to do that. And if I do answer the phone, Roy goes politely, could you just move away from the desk, Sally? Could you just could you just move away from the desk, Sally? I mean, especially when was it? There was a couple of years ago, it was at Christmas, and it was so busy in the salon and there was clients all over the place. I was like, I'll just quickly answer the phone and book an appointment. And I answered the phone and this woman said, hello, I'd like to book an appointment. Okay, when would you like to come in? Anytime. How's next Wednesday? No, I can't do that. Okay, how's next Thursday? I can't do that. So I just said, look, when you know when you want to book, can you just phone back? Could you just move away from the desk? Yeah. So they do it so well. Yeah. So well. So there's no point us going in. So, and basically my phone was just going mad that night with clients going, book me in, book me in, book me in, book me in. And you know, I had to message my clients back and say, Roy's dealing with it. Honestly, because just Roy's dealing with it because he has a system. Yeah. So we have a massive priority waiting list. So the thing is Roy wants to phone through the priority waiting list, obviously. So we're not opening the app at the moment, but he is phoning through the priority waiting list. So both of the reception are going in tomorrow and Friday. They will go through the priority list. But I've said to him, you also have to answer the phone because my clients, even if they're on the priority list, just want to know that they've got their appointment booked in. They're ringing. Yeah. They're ringing. So it's for the next few weeks, and this will only be for the next few weeks until everybody works through their priority list, and then we go back to, and like I said, we've got 7 weeks, and I know that sounds a long way, but the clients want to know that they're booked in the first few weeks we're opened. So this next few days is really important to communicate with the clients, which is why we're like, right, team needs to go in, you need to put your visors on, you need to go in, you need to man the phones, you need to actually be in the salon making appointments. This will only be till the end of this week, since you get through the priority list, and hopefully, I say that, take me, I'd get through 2 people. You get through the how many thousand people you've got on the priority list in 2 days. But then, you see, Roy has the system in his bedroom at home.
Okay.
He has through every lockdown. He takes the whole computer home with him. So he basically is still manning the phones and making appointments from his bedroom at home. And it's just that communication. So it is really important that we acknowledge that the clients want to book an appointment, however people are doing that. Yeah.
Honey Fast said she's so happy to be back, but I can't imagine how clients are more happy than we are. Speaking as a client, I can't wait for you guys to do that. So and all of my friends, it's all everyone's talking about. They keep saying to me, do you know when they were going to reopen? I was like, I don't know any more than anybody else.
No, and I do think that's why it's quite nice that there actually is a clear date now. Yes. So we are working to a clear date. Yeah. And I think that's really helpful for everybody.
And actually what we need is the same for the other nations who don't have a clear date yet.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a date to start working to and preparing for. It's just, everybody needs that clarity and actually a point to look forward to.
Yes, and I think that's, as soon as the announcement was made, it was like, well, that's great. I mean, I can see some people are like, oh, it's, really annoyed that it's too long. And I'm a glass half full person. I'm like, turned around to Jamie and I was like, it's brilliant. At least we have a date to work to now. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's it. We have a date. And I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but can you imagine if they'd have said we were open next week? I think I'd have been like, oh, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
I know I've had so much time to be ready, but I'm not ready.
No, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? So in a way, yes, it's longer than we would have all wanted, but I'm just really thankful we have a date and a clear date and we know what we're working towards.
So I wanted to ask you, because I think people will be interested. It was on my list last time and we didn't get around to it. Give us a brief history of how it started for you. So why, because we've seen you ceramics, baking, art. So creativity is obviously your thing, which and clearly is in hairdressing. But how did it start? Why hairdressing and where and how?
Do you know, I think I definitely, people have probably heard me say this before, but I fell into hairdressing. I went to a school that wasn't at all creative. I didn't have any creative opportunities. I used to dance every Saturday from when I was 2 to when I was 17. And that was my creative output. I mean, I was laughing with my sister the other day on the phone because when I was about 12, we used to dance, me, my sister and her friend, for this local fashion shop in the village. So they used to put on a fashion show, and me and my sister and her friend, Catherine, we used to dance, and we had to make up this dance routine every week to perform in front of this people, and I could never remember it. So I just used to ad lib. It's raining there. Do you know what I mean? And my sister and Catherine were so incredible at remembering everything, and I was just this idiot in the middle, just ad libbing. I think that was my creative output. I looked forward to that way more than I looked forward to school. I think, for me, I kind of wish I'd go at school now, when I think there's much more diverse creative opportunities and it's more acceptable to want to do more creative things, whereas mine was, academic. Biology, academic. So I can't say I didn't really enjoy school, but I couldn't wait to leave school. So as soon as I left school, I was like, right, I just became a different person. I was like, thank God for that. That stage of my life is open. I can work now. So went to work in a local florist. For a year and a half, basically to earn some money. I wanted to go to a theatrical makeup school in Nottingham, which my parents thought was the most ridiculous, crazy thing, and they'd never heard of theatrical makeup artists at all. Again, that's probably comes from the dancing side of it and wanting to do theatre and that sort of thing. So I worked in a florist, didn't earn much money, found a higher paying job, eventually went to the theatrical makeup college, did that for a year in Nottingham, and then basically I just needed a job in London. My friend was working at this place called Trevor Sorby's, so I just went for an interview there and just to get myself to London. And I think, from my village and people talking about hairdressing, it never ever was something in my equation of doing. It just, people would say, do you want to be a hairdresser? Because I was quite creative, and I was like, no, it was just never in my equation of thinking. You know, I had some of the, I'm going to tell you this story of my local hairdressers when I was about, I must have been about 14, and I had really long hair, and I wanted to look like the girl out of Flashdance. Do you remember?
Oh, with the curls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, when I got this perm,
Jennifer, can't remember her name. Jennifer something.
I just wanted to look like her. Anyway, when I got this perm, incredible, right? Loved it. So 6 months later, I've obviously got the straightest, thinnest hair in the whole wide world. So 6 months later, I had this like flat thing of, I don't know what on the top. Yeah, with this frizzy stuff. So ready for this. So I go back in this little hairdressers, and I thought I said to them, can you perm the top of my hair? Yeah, where it's straight.
Yeah.
They thought I said, cut all my hair off to the length of where the perm has finished. Right. So I was about, I don't know, 13 or 14. And I still don't know to this day whether I'd winked at her boyfriend or she just didn't like me, and I can't believe I sat there. So basically, in about 5 minutes, she cut all of my hair off. And I was so shocked. She then permed the hair I had left, and I didn't speak. I was so shocked. And I went out with a poodle perm. Yeah. Like, can you imagine as a hairdresser, somebody saying that, and you just in 5 minutes time cutting all the hair off? So no, hairdressing was never, ever something. I just thought actually it was just a really...
Consultation.
Yeah, consultation. I still want to meet this girl now and go, what happened on that day? Because it was just...
Why? Just
why?
If she's listening, can she tell us?
Yeah. Like, what happened? Anyway, so never in my equation to be a hairdresser. Anyway, then I went to Trevor's and I started working there. And then, to be perfectly honest, I just saw hairdressing in a different light. It was a world that I didn't actually know at all, and nothing that I expected it to be. And the more I'm quite a good listener and I'm quite a good observer, and the more I watched what the creative team were doing and what Trevor was doing and the way people spoke, I think that has a lot to do with me, is the way people speak and articulate really motivates me. And I used to sneakily hide around the corner and listen to Trevor's meetings with his PR when he was in this open space, and I just opened my eyes to a completely different world, that all the things I've done before, my dancing and my theatre makeup and my I used to do pantomimes as well, and all of that fitted into hairdressing.
Yeah.
And that's it really.
Yeah. No, someone's just put, so here you go. Kelly Russell, Sally, you are so funny. Can I come and do a day's work with you? Can I please come after May when it's calmed down? Please.
Of course you can.
So can she DM you?
Of course she can.
Sally. So if you go your Instagram, well, you've got two now. Which Instagram do you either? So give your Instagram handles, because you're at Sally Brooks, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. And then we've got the art one. So definitely
Cotton Doodle.
Kelly, if you put it in the Facebook comments, I'll link you up with Sally if you can't find her Instagram. Yeah. And Julie Megan says she was the same at school, couldn't wait to get out, but always wanted to be a hairdresser because her mum was one and she always had to go to the clients' houses.
Yeah. I think when I left school that I wanted to do something that I could do well and really enjoy. Do you know what I mean? And didn't feel like work. I don't know. Something though that I do have a little bit of a thing is I always wonder what else I'd have been good at. And I think that's where lockdown's been quite nice for me, actually. It's like I've worked from the minute I started. I mean, even when I was at Trevor's, I was head junior, then I was assistant manager, then I was manager, then I was art director, and then I opened a salon. And there's never been a breathing space. And I think as well, because I don't have children, so I've never had that. My job has just been full on. There's always been something. Even when I think I have a break, there's something else comes in and something else comes in. So I've always wondered what I'd actually be good at. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm like, wouldn't it be lovely if we could all just like magically take a 6-month sabbatical and just go and do something so random? I mean, I would love to go and work in the orphanages. It is one thing I really would like to do. Yeah, I would love to go and do that. I would like to do something at some point in my life that is meaningful. Does that make sense?
no, it
I know
does.
hairdressing is, but I want to do
But I
something.
know what you mean.
I want to do something where I can shave my head, put a cap on,
Yeah.
and just actually do something really caring.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if somebody gave me the opportunity to do that, I would do it in a heartbeat.
We've seen the ceramics, we've seen the baking, we've seen the art, maybe not pancake tossing. Forte.
Did you watch it?
I've not watched it. Check out the Brooks and Brooks Instagram for. But to be fair, you set yourself up for a fall, because anyone who tries to do pancakes in a wok, I would suggest, is probably making life difficult for themselves.
Oh, look, can you please set up a trip for charity?
Well,
yeah. Do you know, it's something I would love to do. But if I do it, like I said, I actually just want to take all my makeup off. I kind of want to shave my head. I want to put on, I just want to just do something incredible with incredible people. I think it would be the most inspirational, motivational, life-changing experience. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that feel the same.
Kelly clearly feels the same, because she said, can we set up a check? Julie Medlin, can I come and work for you too? We've so much in common: dancing, baking, art and crafts. You're just going to be inundated with people.
That makes us sound hilarious, doesn't it? Dancing, baking, arts
and crafts. With
if you were at school and they said, what are you into? Dancing, baking, arts and crafts. They'd say, I think you need to be a hairdresser.
Yeah, not quite sure they would all run.
That's hilarious.
No, there's something I also wanted to talk about, because it comes up a lot, and it also comes up particularly around awards, and I include the British Hairdressing Awards in that. About we had a lot of, well, not a lot, we've had some question about women in industry and this kind of stuff. And when you got your first nomination, and you did answer the phone on that time because you didn't know why I was ringing, because you had no idea, because ever since then, just so everybody knows, Sally ignores my call for as long as possible. And you actually said words to the effect of, let's not make, I don't want this to be about me being female, because actually you weren't nominated because you were female. You were nominated because you had.
What I 100% have never wanted to do is be what I call the token female hairdresser. And the first year I got nominated, you've got to think that there wasn't another female hairdresser nominated before me for 10 years.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was a while. It was 10 years. So what I didn't want to do is have all the interviews being based on the fact I was female. And you'll know, over the years, I've been asked a lot of time to go, there's a female thing. I've been asked to do TV programs where it's talk about being a female, the only female in your industry. I'm not the only female in my industry. And I've never wanted to be known as a female hairdresser. I've wanted to be known as a hairdresser. And it's, that I was quite clear on, actually.
You were
first time we spoke, I was very clear.
And rightly so, because you were nominated not because of your gender, you were nominated because of your talent. And I suppose,
but let's do a but here. But I have been the only female nominated.
Yes, you have. So why do you think that is?
That didn't go on freeze then. It looked like it.
I was thinking I've lost her at that critical point.
It was like a frozen moment. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think hairdressing is one of the only careers that I've never felt the boundaries with being female. It says it has the same opportunities to earn. It has the same opportunities to
achieve,
have a salon, to do awards. It has the same opportunities. So I don't know. I don't know if women need the accolade.
Okay, the reassurance. Do you think there is a thing that maybe I think the opportunities are absolutely there, but maybe the girls just don't push as hard.
Yeah, or there might be another side to this. I don't know. Do females promote other females as much as the men promote the men? I don't know. That's
an interesting take on it. Maybe we need to do a panel on this, because it would be quite interesting to get a panel of women together to discuss that.
If we were doing a panel, I think what the question I'd like to know is does it affect women? Do they feel it? And do they want to see it changed? Yeah, because if people are happy the way it is, like I was, I don't know if it's hang on, what's this? Promote a female. Okay, so we do want to do it. In that case, we need to discuss it. We need to work out how to do it.
It's not,
because there's a problem with how it's being done then.
But there isn't, because actually there isn't a problem with how it's done. And the reason I can say that is because I know how many women get to nominate and how many men get to nominate.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of women who are asked to nominate hairdressers for British Hairdresser of the Year.
Yes.
So
I can't ask you this question, but I'm going to ask it and you're just going to ignore me.
Tell you.
Do women nominate women?
Not all, no. Some do, some absolutely do. Some do. And I think
then the other thing is like if you, I mean, you know, I nominate every year.
Yes.
And maybe we should just open up a little bit just to people to see it, because it's, even with me, when the nominations come in, like I get asked to nominate, it's really hard to choose the 3 people that you think deserve to be nominated. It is so, I go, oh, it's like, and you're trying to think who's done something that is going to move the industry forward, and that's from, you know, we're all so different. That's from so many different angles, whether it's a creative output or a compassion output or a what they've done for the industry. And it is a level of experience that gets nominated for British. It is. I feel that's how it should be. Is it's a you've been around quite a long time and you've kind of got to that position to be nominated. But I think maybe we do need to do a debate on this, because if people out there are feeling that they can't get to the next level because they're female, then that's a massive problem. But I'm going to stand here and say you can. Absolutely. You can, but maybe I'll do a not a course on it. That sounds ridiculous, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, interesting, because Andrea Duralton, it's a good point. Apart from nominations, how many women enter, and a lot, and they're very successful. They are very successful.
They are. Yes.
Also,
See, to me, like, that's what I mean. The women are very successful in this industry.
They are. There's nothing holding anybody back.
No, but they are. I mean, God, especially, I mean, you know, I always say, especially the under 30s, there's a massive group of women force. There always has been. And then after that, it seems they drop off. Yeah. Is that because they're frustrated? I don't know. Maybe it's something we do need to approach.
Well, it's interesting because Beverly Anita, she's a lecturer in Nottingham. She said, I have a few lads who come through my courses at the side of loads of women, but the lads feel as though they have to be better than the girls and think a more competitiveness, men are more competitive. She said, I do think that though that behind successful male hairdressers, you will find a great woman or team of women.
Oh my God. I say that all the time, don't I? I always say it, but that's one thing you've got to think in. And a lot of women like being in that position. You know, there's so many women that are so incredible that sit behind the man, but they're happy sitting behind the man.
I have to say, and I know we've discussed this before, you know, the nomination process is stringent because it has to be. And actually the changes we've made, so the second list goes out where everybody who's received any nominations, people can choose from that list, then they can change their mind or they don't have to.
But again, like I said, I find that really interesting because you get this massive list and you kind of go, I've got to choose 3 from this.
And who's made the difference?
And who's made a difference? Yeah.
You have to choose on merit. And that's the point, isn't it? I genuinely think that the guys that have won and been up for British deserve absolutely
100% incredible.
As much as you or Beverly when she won or Antoinette when she won.
Yeah.
It's you know, I mean, I think you've proved you've won it 3 times, you've got nothing to prove, but actually with all the other roles that you have with manufacturers, with L'Oreal, etc., you know, it is in no way stopped the opportunities that you've had.
No, but I do I find sometimes what I do quite hard because I don't have a woman behind me.
Right.
That's
Amy's not watching. Should we just stop this here?
But do you see what I mean? Yeah. It's like I have to create shows and do this, and you know, I would love to have a wife. I don't want a wife, just putting it out there. But
I know what you mean.
A strong woman
thinks in the way
that thinks the same speed and the fast and that can multitask. And you know, I'm not saying men can't do that, by the way. I just a strong somebody.
a strong somebody,
strong somebody that can really take the pressure. And I think, you know, so many guys have got amazing wives. You know, they are incredible. They're brilliant.
Or amazing partners who support them. You know, if you look,
100%. Yeah,
a lot of guys who.
I hold myself back. I haven't. What does it say?
Oh, so this is Leanne Malcolm. I hold myself back. The confidence I had in my 20s, I didn't utilize correctly with my career. I had my children younger. Now that confidence has disappeared, and halfway through my 30s, I can't seem to get it back. I have the best workplace and all the encouragement. The holdback is purely internal. That's interesting.
It is, and I do think it's a big one. It's a big one for me. It's confidence.
I don't think on our own, and Fiona's put probably when children come into the mix, things change, and I do
100%.
It does, because you're split. I mean, you know, I am a full-time working mum, and my boys are bigger now. But when I had the twins, it was tough. You had to make decisions.
Yes.
For, you know, it is hard. It is hard. So hang on, Mary Geegan, was starting out with Trevor's team a big part for your push to become British Hairdresser of the Year? Because obviously you were there when Trevor was winning. Yes,
I was there when Trevor was winning.
To be fair, can I answer that and see if you agree with me?
Yeah.
I don't think you pushed to be British Hairdresser of the Year.
I was going to say, I was trying to work out a polite way of saying it, actually. In the nice possible way. It's like, I love being British Hairdresser, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it was ever in my, I have to be British Hairdresser of the Year.
You didn't campaign to be British Hairdresser.
I didn't campaign to be.
I remember our first conversation when I told you you'd been nominated, and it was just hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of them people, I think, that when an opportunity is put in front of me, I will decide whether that's something I actually want to do. I don't think I've ever campaigned to do anything. You know, whether that's a show, I don't think I've ever asked to do something, or, you know, something's come along and I've thought, oh, that sounds quite nice. Yeah. I think the answer to the question, though, is when I was working for Trevor, I got to see the industry in a big way. I got to see that there was an incredible opportunity to do photo shoots, and I got to see, and I would honestly say that doing a photo shoot for an award or for my own collection is something I absolutely adore, because it's one of the only things I get to do for myself.
It's purely for you.
It's purely my,
space.
It's for me. Everything else I do affects other people and the team. And, you know, if you're working for L'Oreal, it's under the umbrella of their platform. If I'm doing a show, I'm involving my team, and again, that's under the umbrella of, whether it's for Noise or Salon International, or that's under that umbrella. The awards, for me, British, is just something I can do on my own. I don't have to ask anybody if they like it. I don't have to get a vision from somebody else. And I think that's why I love it, is because it's my baby. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't affect anybody else. No. If it goes wrong and people hate it, the only person it's going to affect is me.
Yeah.
And I do think when you're a salon owner and when you work for different companies, I think that is a pressure that you do hold on your shoulders sometimes, is every decision I make affects other people.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, if I make a decision for my artistic team, it affects their career and their future and what they want in their life. If I make a decision for the salon, it affects Emma being able to get a mortgage, or Paul eventually owning his own house. It's, you know, I take the responsibility quite heavily, whereas the award shoot
is yours.
It's mine. It's mine. No. And you know, whether people like it or not, the only person that's going to get affected by that is me. And it's something I actually, probably why I'm quite brave with my shooting, and I actually do something because it is purely, I don't have any other pressure from anybody else on it.
It's your baby. Yeah. I mean, we're already over time. I can't believe we've done it again. I know.
We've only done 2 questions. Oh my God, quick, go.
The last point to cover, because I think it's an important one, and I know you've been involved in it. And actually, I think we're not on Sky TV this morning because you'd have been 10 minutes late already, because it was 10:30. Yes. Is we've got an open date, which is fantastic, but actually the Save Our Salons movement that group of hairdresser salon owners have put together is really gaining momentum, and getting people's support behind that to get the VAT cut, and you know, to make hopefully long-term change, I know is something that you've been passionate about as well.
Yeah, I think I've always been passionate about what I call one voice.
Yes.
And I think as a hairdressing industry, it's something that we say we do, but we don't. We have 27,000 million different voices because we're all such different individuals and we all need different things. But I've always been a massive believer of the salon and the team, and you know, everything else is lovely, but it's like the frosting on a cake. The core of this industry is the salons and the community and the team and the training of apprentices and the clients. That is the core of 99% of what we're about. And we do need to find one voice that speaks for that, without mixing it with too much creativity and too much this and too much that. It is actually about the core of what supports this industry is the incredible hairdressers that work in the salon.
Absolutely. So,
and that sometimes is the least thing we shout about. We shout about everything else louder, but the core of incredible hairdressers are the guys that stand behind the chair and look after the clients. Absolutely. And as one voice, that's why, you know, that particular thing is so important that we speak as one voice.
So saveoursalons.co.uk, people need to go on. It's very easy to send a letter to your local MP, but make it personal. And also complete the survey, because the more stats we have that we can gather for them to take to government and to the Bays Committee, the more likelihood we are to see some change. And Daryl Starkey, to answer your questions, when will the details of this year's BHA be coming out? Monday, not Monday, it's the 4th of March. Everything has been agreed in terms of rules and regulations, and answering lots of queries that we've had. So everything will be live then.
Do you know, Daryl, I do know one of the things for the awards this year, and you're only allowed to do it on hair that is on your body.
Yeah, because somebody, wonder who that might be. Yes, it definitely needs to be on.
Just imagine, there's my toe hair, there's my butt hair.
Let's leave it there. Let's just stop. It does. That is one of the things. But actually, we have made it much more accessible in terms of number of pictures and the use of wigs and hairpieces, which is something that you and I spoke about. So all of the information will be out for everybody. Sally,
have I got quickly just time to say about this education that we're running?
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say that
because I just think Marlon and Grace are doing such an incredible job of it. And it's not only that, is, you know, we've built this community of hairdressers from different countries, and it is so nice being engaged with different hairdressers at the moment and us talking together. And I set them homework every week, which, you know, we're going to put in the HJ as an article, because there are so many hairdressers out there that have this incredible way of communicating and writing, and it's so inspiring. And what we're trying to do in this course, along with the courses, is teach everybody how to have more confidence and how to do everything that they've asked from us. I'm going to be doing a one-on-one with them the week after next, but it's so incredible, the voices in this group that don't have a platform to speak.
Yes, and giving them a platform now.
And finding a platform for people to speak more. Because when I'm reading some of their homework, I'm like, oh my God, it's just so incredible. And it's about a lot of it is about confidence. I don't have confidence to say that this trend is, or I don't have confidence to take this back to my team. It's like, that's what the program is about. And it's also things that I'm thinking about of how to help the industry to do these things that I'm being asked of. Can I just ask one question before I leave?
You can.
As your British Hairdresser of the Year, if there was one thing that you wanted me to do, what would it be? Oh,
that's not fair. Well, bizarrely, unbeknown to you, we've got a whole list coming your way that we so that we've already been talking to lovely Ruth. So we have a list of things we want you to do. And actually, a lot of it is around that, sharing the message of education and confidence, and also to continue the work that Almost Journey to My Destination did. About ensuring that we get the right, whether they're, doesn't matter how old they are, but the right people to come through training and education to into the industry for the longevity and the future of the industry. And
I did this incredible learning schools thing with L'Oreal the other day, when we were talking to school leavers about, it was with L'Oreal. It was amazing because we set these people homework, and I was just like, everyone says that this generation is not engaged and this generation hasn't got ideas, and this, oh my God, no. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowing. The new way of thinking and the new vision is what, as an industry, we really need to listen to. And it's incredibly, for me, that it's not all about Instagram.
No,
it is not all about followers, who has the biggest following, who is relevant on Instagram. It's not just about that. There is this incredible energy coming through that once they find their platform, bingo.
So it is. So it is all around that we will, and there is a lot. So you're going to have to try and fit it in amongst those clients who are begging you to do their hair. But it is about being the ambassador and the voice that's telling not just the industry why it's a great career, because everybody in it knows it, but actually reaching out to tell other people why hairdressing, and also why hairdressing needs to be taken seriously. I'm not a hairdresser. I am clearly a frustrated hairdresser, but you know, I don't ever, and I know you share this, want someone to say I'm just a hairdresser.
But I'm really happy that you're not a hairdresser.
Yeah, I think
that's a compliment, Jane. If you were a hairdresser, you wouldn't campaign for hairdressers the way you do. You have such a love for this industry. If you were a hairdresser, you would do it differently.
Yeah.
We're really lucky as an industry to have you, not as a hairdresser, but we're really, really lucky to have you.
Thank you. Don't make me cry. Don't be nice to me. That's not what this was about. It's all about you. I hate that. But thank you. And I do love this industry, as I know you do. So we have, oh, thanks. We love you. We love you all too. It's been fabulous. Literally, I do feel like we did say next time we're going to do this. We're actually going to be.
Did we do the questions?
No, but that's fine. Well, we did some of them. But I think we should actually do it together next time, and we can get questions from everybody watching about and we'll try and get through them, but we can actually do it.
If we want to do one more that's more on females, but we actually have, an honest debate. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be a live. Maybe we should have a conversation, a round table conversation. Oh, round table. Are we getting to go to the luncheon? No, we're not, are we?
Not on the 11th of April, we won't be, but we are.
We're not having a picnic in the park, six of us.
We're not having a picnic in the park. We will be having a luncheon though for the winners. So, and a big celebration.
But maybe when it's opened up a bit, we can have a picnic in the park with anybody that wants to talk about how we change things,
I'm up for that. Thank you so much. As always, it's been a joy. Thank you to everybody who's been joining us today. Sally, you are an absolute, just a beacon of hope for our industry. And I mean that. It's brilliant. You are a phenomenal British Hairdresser of the Year and a superb ambassador always for hairdressing. So good luck in the next 7 weeks, getting fit, lifting those tins and doing whatever else.
I'm sure that's what everybody went is, oh, how am I going to fit into my clothes?
Oh, absolutely. I'm more worried about my heels, but anyway. I will see you very soon. Lots of love. Thank you.
Lots of love, everybody. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.